Hi everybody, Yarn Fairy here. Just wanted to share with you the finishing items for Sweetlette. First you're going to take your ribbon and you're going to fold it. You can take the ends and fold it again until you have 8 equal pieces. Then you're just going to lap the top and bottom. Then, or first maybe you want to iron it. It probably would have been easier if I ironed it first, but I kind of like dealing with the little pieces. I had the cutest little quilting iron. I can't find it anywhere. I looked high and low for this iron for you guys. So we have the big one, but it's no big deal so long as you have like less thumbs. I have thumbs everywhere. So you have 8 equal pieces, and then there's 2 different ways. Well, actually 3 or I'm sure you can figure out many more ways of doing this. You could make a little bow on one end, or you can do what I'm doing, which is making these cute little rosettes. Or you could just tack the ribbon in through the eyelets. As you can see here, I just wove, yeah, can't really see, but anyway, I just wove. This is what the whole basic purpose of the ribbon is for. We have some eyelets of the shawl, and we just weave the ribbon I'm going back and forth through the shawl, and then you end it with what you're going to end it with. Probably want to loosen this up too a little bit so that it doesn't hold it, and you're going to want to block your shawl before you start. Okay, and then the other thing that we have to do today is we have a clasp. It's got 3 holes. You're going to gather your rectangle at the top and put the clasp on the 3 points, the top, the middle, and the bottom of the rectangle. So I'm just going to show you a few little tips that I have. Let's see if I can move you guys. For the sewing part of this. The most basic one, which I found really easy to make this silk workable. First of all, we have yarn that matches our project. I was going for navy, but I liked the royal blue better. It just looked better. You're going to want to thread a needle, plain sewing needle, with a double amount of silk and put a knot at the end of that. Excuse me, I said silk. Any sewing thread is fine here. So I'm going to start at the top. And what we're going to do first is just grab the shawl, and then you're going to split the yarn so that it just attaches. There's no way that's going to fall off unless you rip your shawl, which I hope you don't do. And then we're just going to go round and round. Might be better if I move you guys down and out of the light a little bit here. And that's all you're going to do. And yeah, I'm making kind of a mess there, but it's easy enough to work out. And I find that if you hold your finger, it'll work out the loops too. Doesn't really matter though, because you're just going to go over them anyway. So that's enough. Then we're going to take the middle one, and we're going to take it down to the middle part of the shawl, which is right here. And I'm going to do this on the back with the running stitch. Just going in and out of the shawl without catching the little guy until we get to the middle, which is where? Oh yeah, in between the leaves. Okay. Here we go. Pull him up, and you've just gathered him. And then you're going to do the same thing that we did for the top on the middle. He's all gathered. And then you just whip. Wow. Did you see that? Silk and me don't get along. My hands are rough. They're rough from all the dyes and all the vinegar baths that they've been in, and they're just rough. I find the best way of handling this, normally they're smoother because I file them. I actually literally file my fingers. And then I use the Lolo bars on them, which it's a nice heavy grease. And then I put them into cotton gloves, and I find that that makes them really soft. Okay, so we're back to whipping to the other end, or excuse me, what do you call that? Slipping. Running. Running, slipping, whipping. I don't know if I'm coming or going. Okay, to here, which is where we picked the shawl back up again. And then I'm going to turn him over again and hope that I sewed it on right. I don't think there's a wrong way, is there? They're just a hook and eye clasp, so I think this is going to work. The way I end the sewing for this is by sticking it back through the fabric and then back to the back of the work, and then, yeah, you know, you could make a mistake. You could sew it onto the wrong side of the work, right side up. That would be bad because it would be hard to get out. I think, though, if you just pull on it really hard, it might come out. Anyway, the way I end is through either slipping a knot like that or making a double yarn over, pushing it really hard into the fabric, and then like weaving in my ends. Just the same thing as knitting. Okay, and then we're going to cut this puppy off. And there we have the clasp. Ain't it pretty? I like this shawl. It's got a lot of fun stuff in it. So then you could either put this on your shoulder or on your front, or like hang your shawl off your shoulder. You could wear it any number of ways. I'm sure as many as there are individuals out there. So in order to make the rosette, you can't see it, but I'm organizing my shawl so that it's flat with the holes going along. So all I did here was anchored, my thread by the knot again, and then I slipped it through, and I'm just in the center of the ribbon. And it's messy, but bear with me, it's going to even out. What you want to do is get as close to the edge, making a running stitch, as you can. And you want to lay your ribbon down on your work first and make sure how much space you have before you start with this. And all this is going to do is gather up the ribbon, and it's going to make the cutest little rosette. You can make a bud by doing just an inch of gathering here, or you can make a full-on flower. And you don't want to do that. Look at that. I went around the ribbon. Not fun, but it is repairable. I'm just going to pull it through. And there you have it. Okay? So, there's my rosette. Isn't that cute? You know, you're probably wondering, gee, did you see any of that? Wow. Let me start over again here and show you the stitch, just in case you guys didn't see it. Wow, okay, that is some fine work. You're just going up and down at the very edge of the ribbon, and I'd say this is maybe 1/4 of an inch. And see, you're just gathering along the edge, pull, and it makes a little rosette when you form it out like that. And then what you're going to want to do is tack it to the beginning, right there, that tail that we started with. I'm sorry, you guys, I forget to look at the camera. I'm always looking at my work. Okay, so then what you do is, I gave you guys twice as much yardage as I used to make the ruffle. I kind of expect you guys to use the extra that I gifted you. You will have a larger ruffle than I do, twice as long, and it's going to cover Sorry, the drugs are making me shake. My back is back to as bad as it ever was, or worse. Yeah, not talking about that. You're going to want to cover the first eyelet with your ruffle. We're going to ignore that eyelet. We're going to start on the second eyelet. And all you do is pop the rosette in the front, throw the yarn down the hole, turn your work over, holding your rosette in place. And where you want this is down at the bottom of the eyelet, there. And you're going to turn it over, and you're going to close the eyelet with a few stitches, and you're going to tack the rosette in place so that it doesn't move. I hope you guys can't hear the pixies. They're out there having a good old time. They're shrieking and having a good old time watching some movie with Grandma. I'm glad they can have fun. That's a good thing. And so there you have it. A closed eyelet, which once was open, and a rosette on the front. That's really cute, but it has that little snippet. So we're going to snip it. And then the way I taught you to finish off your yarn, or your yarn, yeah, your string, your thread, the thread, that's what it's called. It's been so long since I've done any quilting. Double yarn over, hold it down tight. Weave your end in, just like you do for knitting. Just a little finer work, that's all. And snip your thread. Then you want to lay, see if I can get you guys down here far enough. You want to lay your work out flat, and then you're just going to pinch the eyelet holes and thread the ribbon through the holes until you get down to the other side, and then you want to do the same thing at the other side, and that's going to net you these cute little rosettes that end in a really big rosette because Mama didn't figure out her yardage before I started, which is why I said to lay out your ribbon over your eyelet to start with, because I learned the hard way that sometimes you have a lot of yarn left over down at the bottom. Anyway, that's the Sweetlette shawl. That's the clasp and the eyelet. Let's see how she looks. Did I do good? Huh. Yeah, I can figure out a clasp. Ta-da! And like I said, you could, like, you know, you gotta rock it. However you wear it, rock it. And when you block it, it wants to go all the way around. So I was thinking, like, you could wear it with this guy on the shoulder too. That'd be kind of cute. Anyway, yeah, that's Sweetlette. And the stuff that's all over my desk, it's because I have to share with you the Stardust, which is awesome. But I can't share it now. We're probably in too long. Enjoy your shawls, everyone.